Right, guys, let's get into this project. So, as I'm editing this project, I know what the finished project is. And just let me tell you, this project was just a fight from the start to the end. But please stay to the end and you'll see what I actually made. If you want your sticker on my board there, just get over onto Instagram. You can follow me on there, and because you can message me on there. It doesn't allow me to sort of message anybody on YouTube. So if you want to follow me over there, you can do, and I can tell you where to send your stickers, and I'll put them on my board and give you a shout out. So here I'm just sort of the idea behind what I'm doing. Now, I had a specific product that was coming to me that I was going to use this product for, if that makes sense. And it all went wrong because the product didn't show up, and then I had loads of problems with suppliers and stuff like that for various parts that I needed. Things not showing up when they said that they would show up, and so I had to sort of change my plans 2 or 3 times during the old build of this. So you'll see, and I'll explain as I go on. So I'm just cutting out here now. This was a specific size. What I actually needed. Well, that's not strictly true. I didn't really need this. It was a bit overkill, the size, but my idea was the product's in there, and then if there's any sort of add-ons that can be added on in the future, it could be fitted in the box. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that specific product was, because I'm going to come back to another video in the future, with that product. It was a shipping issue. It weren't a supplier issue as such. It was a shipping issue. No disrespect to the supplier. It's, I know these things happen. I have it sometimes when I'm trying to ship antiques out and stuff like that. It's can be an absolute nightmare. So I'm just making sure everything's level here. I am going to have to get a smaller saw at some point. So if there's any recommendations out there, this is a 12-inch saw, and it's really heavy. It takes 2 people to lift, so I have to lift that in and out all the time. So maybe a 10-inch that I can sort of maneuver myself sometimes, and it's easier for even if me and Shelley sort of take it in of an evening, that we can lift it a bit easier, because honestly it's a beast of a thing. It's really heavy. So I'm just still marking out here, just getting me sort of in my head what's right. And the boards I'm using are 8x1 pine, or 1x8 pine, some of you guys say. And I'm using 12mm hardwood ply for this build. Now, it is one of the things that was fighting me already. Me track saw, plunge saw type thing, decided to give up the ghost. Didn't like using it anyway, if I'm perfectly honest with you. So I had to sort of improvise with my jigsaw on this ply. Luckily, it weren't too thick anyway, and I got a nice sort of straightish cut there. Then I've gone to trim it all up here now on my table saw, get it down to size that I needed. Now, birch ply prices are stupidly high at the minute, so that's why I've opted for this ply. It's like a poplar core ply, hardwood. Does the job. The supplier who I'm getting it off now, it's a good product. The 18mm ply is okay, so I thought I'd give this a try. So I'm just measuring up here now. I'm going to cut in some. I've put a flat grind blade in there, and I'm going up to cut some dados. So it like multiple passes on some pine, but I'll get there. So I'm just setting everything up. Make sure you're safe round your table saw. I'm just going in here. This is the initial cut, and I just cut it. This takes, I'm not going to show it you all because it took a bit of time because with multiple passes. I have got another blade, a 6mm blade, wide blade, that I've not used yet, and I'm going to use that in a couple of projects, so you'll see that coming into play. But me job site saw here, they're really good. These get a good blade either way. The stock blade that comes with them's okay, but I changed it out. This one I've got in here is a Saxton blade. It's not like a really expensive brand, but it's been doing the job so far. So I'm going on and letting you know how them blades are. Seem okay for now. So here's where the miters were just out. You didn't see I cut the miters on a previous clip. I don't know why I didn't film that. But the miters were out. They were like wavy, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, I've done something wrong. So it's back to the drawing board, unfortunately, because I just couldn't go on with that. I could have tried and make it work, but it was never going to work. And there was no way I was going to show you a project that I've mashed up because of stupidity, really. When I've seen the fault, I'm going back to the drawing board. So now in my head, I'm knowing that the product is not coming. I've mashed up my miters, so it's sort of plan B. So I'm going back and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to make the box a different way. I'm not going to do the miters. I'm just going to do sort of like butt joints now and glue, screw, everything. And I've got something else in mind. So I'm just making sure to cut them miters off, making sure everything is really straight. And I'm just using all the wood again now, so that this box is going to be slightly smaller. So I'm going to cut them dados off there now and still use that pine. I did try and cut the miters on this saw. Now, maybe it was the piece of wood was too big that I was trying to put through. I don't know. Maybe I should have done it on the mitre saw. I might have got a better cut. But it's something that I'm going to learn. Something I'm going to make sure to get right next time. So again, just nice and easy. So a bit of marking out here. Nothing special. I'm just making sure everything's lined up nice. So my second project I had in mind was for my whiskey collection, and I wanted to order some foam for the inside. And I've sent, I've looked around at some foam and I've sent some messages out and nobody's got back to me. I just wanted to know prices, size, what would the best foam be, that kind of thing. And nobody got back to me, so it was a matter of improvisation again, and sort of Shelley saved the day on this one a little bit. But because of the foam I had, I couldn't use it as a whiskey display, so you'll see in the end. I'll explain it in the end. So I'm just putting it together now. I'm using 35mm torque screws there. Just going nice and easy with them. I find it easy just pulsing them in like that. If you watch my finger there as I was pulsing it in on the sides. So I'm just countersinking there, pilot countersinking. And again, I'm just pulsing them in there. Nice and easy. The weather's changed a bit here. It's getting a bit milder now. So here's what it's, the box structure's done. This was going to be a big display case for a product initially. So I'm going over it now, just cleaning the edges up. I'm going over, making sure the edges are clean. And then in the centre, I chamfer it so it creates a shadow line around the box, which I tend to like doing. A lot of people don't like doing them, but, I tend to like doing them. I think it just gives it a bit of detail. Although it's a bit of plywood and a bit of pine. If this was sort of hardwood, it'd be totally different, wouldn't it? So a few things are out here, and I do manage to sort of rectify that in the end. But yeah, I'm just measuring up here now for the hinges that are going on the back. These are external hinges, because what I had in mind is you'd open it up sort of outwards, and it's like I had sort of on order some, like, what do they call, like them hydraulic gas powered sort of hinges. Oh God, what are they called? Stays, are they? Yeah, something like that. But again, didn't show up on time when the supplier told me that they would. So it's a lesson learned. What I've learned is make sure all my bits are here before I even start a project. I was committed to the project because of the first item, so I thought I'd get an head start and get in front with my video, and obviously it didn't work out. You can see a bit of sort of chip out on the ply there. That's totally my fault. That's going to be the underside of it. Still no excuse, but it's the underside of it. So I'm making sure everything's lined up nice. I don't know if this is the right way or the wrong way. I haven't got a clue. And like I said to you in a previous video, this is me easing myself into more hinge-related videos. So it's just the way I like doing things. I like doing things methodically. So I know they're dead easy to fit them, but it's another step. So I'm just tapping the plugs home, and I do come back and trim them. So I'm just tidying all the sides up. Everything's lined up nice and neat now. I give it a tweak and it was fine. So I'm just tidying it all, getting like little bits of glue spatter off and bits of fluff and things like that. And I'm just giving it a blow over here, cleaning all dust and debris off. And this, it has 3 coats of Danish oil. This is the first coat. I'm not going to bore you with the other coats, but this is the first coat, and it gets this inside and out. So you just apply it, leave it sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, come back, wipe the excess off, let it dry thoroughly, then apply the second coat. That's how I do it. And it just gives it a bit of protection, and it just sort of enhances it a little bit. And imagine if that was sort of like a really nice hardwood. That'd look stunning, wouldn't it? I mean, I know it's only ply, but nevertheless, you've got to try and make it look right, haven't you? Everything sort of fought me on this project. I know I'm moaning about it, but it was one of them. It fought me, and it just sort of like, you've just got to push forward. And I weren't letting nobody down. This project needed to be seen. So these corners here are just for protection. These would have initially been on it anyway. This was all part of the plan for the initial project. And I'm going in with a screwdriver here rather than a power drill because I don't want to overdo it. That's that. So Shelley found this foam out of some boxes, and thankfully, sometimes she's a godsend, really, she is. It's not perfect, but just for the purposes of the video, I just needed to show you this. So my idea now is just line it and give you some sort of ideas what you could use it for. The gas strut things didn't come, so I'm just cutting the foam best as I can here. But you could use this for, what could you use it for? I mean, Shelley once said you could put like casters underneath the box, use it for one of them, like a storage for underneath the bed, on top of a wardrobe maybe. You could use it as a tool cabinet, fit it out. I will come back to this project at some point if Shelley doesn't sort of take it off me. And, I'll fit it out with something. My idea was fit it out for a specific tool. That's what it was. It was a tool, and it would have looked amazing. And then I got let down with the foam I needed for the whiskey bottles. So this was a compromise, and I just thought I'd do this to show you, just to line it really a little bit. But what would you use it for? And here it's finished. I've put a latch on the front there, little sort of latch. You can put a lock on that as well if you wanted. It's got a bit for you can put a lock on it. It looks a bit like a suitcase, doesn't it? You can see where I've plugged it there, tidied it up. It looks okay in my eyes. It would have looked amazing with the initial project. But let me know in the comments what you think of it, what you would use it for. I'll come back, and I've got unfinished business for this. It's one of them, I've got unfinished business, trust me. But I could, if I had the gas strut, that would have been there. You could have seen that working properly, but it worked to be, unfortunately, and I do apologise for that. But anyway, yeah, I think the Danish oils give it a nice sort of finish. Shelley's going to have this away, I know she is. Anyway, guys, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll do a follow-up video on this one. The things that went well and didn't go well. So see you on the next one. Bye-bye.